welcome back to my channel. My name is Bobby Zen, and today we are going to zen out in Blender. Hello, welcome back. I missed you all. I haven't seen you in a little bit. It's been a little bit since I've been here, but I figured today was a good day to do like a model and chill. I thought that would be fun. So I wanted to show you what I'm currently working on. I have so much to tell you, so much tea to spill, so much to talk about, and I know you're probably like, what is going on the screen right now? So I'm going to explain everything. I'm actually taking classes at Noman's VFX School in North Hollywood, and I'm working on this actually. This really beautiful, enchanting, like cottage core-esque kitchen. This is my concept for my Unreal Engine. So I wanted this counter. This was the thing that kind of pulled me in. This is what captivated me. This is what grabbed me. So I was like, oh, I'm going to model that counter. And I'm going to jump into Blender. I'm going to model the counter and I'm going to put it into Unreal. And that's when I realized, like, oh my gosh, I really, really enjoy modeling. Like, it's something that really speaks to me. So I figured today we'll model the countertops. I'm going to make this a 3-part video. So today we'll do the countertops. Then we will work on the lower counters. And last, we'll put it all together. Oh no, actually that big window, the big window that you saw, we do model that too. So with that being said, if you want to hang out with me while we kind of model and chill, excuse my dog in the background coughing, then yeah, stick around and we'll do that. All right, everybody, thank you so much for being here with me. Again, I just want to say hello to all of my subscribers. I have missed you, but I've absolutely been thinking about you. I've absolutely been playing around in all of this 3D software, but I'm enrolled in a couple classes at Noman, and I want to tell you all about it. One of the classes that I'm in is Unreal Engine for virtual production, and it has been fun, but such a challenge. And those of you that are working in Blender, you know when you first started Blender, it was so challenging. So it's been pretty challenging, that kind of learning curve where you're using a new software, you got to learn new hotkeys, the controls are not the same, all that is tough. But I am so grateful and I'm learning so much, and the concept is coming along, and I'm really excited to show you all it when it's all said and done. But before I keep yapping, let's just tap a little bit into the video and I'll tell you what I'm doing. I'm actually just creating the basic shape of the counter here. So I just inserted a plane and I put a bunch of loop cuts, and now I'm just pulling the vertices so that I can kind of create the shape that I wanted. And I'm sorry, it's not loop cuts, I just subdivided in between the vertices. That's what I did, because you'll notice it's not straight across, because I do want to have the sharp back that's going to go against the wall. So just kind of keep that in mind. I found this reference photo somewhere on the internet. I scoured the internet for hours and hours trying to find something perfect, and I absolutely found it, and I'm obsessed. So I'm using this as my reference. I am just creating the basic shape because we are going to be beveling and fixing it that way. So I just want the general shape of what we got going here. So I just wanted to explain that a little bit. These are actually called live edge wood countertops. I'm absolutely obsessed. It's like my dream kitchen. It's what I would really want in my castle when I get one. And basically now I'm just doing the other side. I'm just mirroring what I did on the other side. Pro tip for beginners, because I would have loved to have known this, but when you are working, when you press your tilde and do, let's say, top view, which is what I'm working in right now, it allows for you to move the vertices just on the x-axis. So what I was finding in the beginning when I was modeling is that I was moving the vertices not from top down view. I was just in the world. And with that, your vertices are kind of like, they're at different depths. In this circumstance, they'll be on different measurements of the x-axis, and it would just kind of make things all wonky and weird. So if you press your tilde, go from a top-down view, it almost allows you to, it's almost like you're on a piece of paper, and you're able to just kind of pull those vertices around, and you have a lot more freedom. So it's something that I constantly remind myself. I'm like, no, you can go crazy. You can move these vertices all over. So you'll notice I'm just like subdividing, and then I'm just grabbing and pulling and just getting it into the rough shape of what I want. But back to school, back to the tea, back to everything. So I'm enrolled in this Unreal Engine class, and the idea is we found a reference, and we're going to recreate that in 3D space. So I'm like, oh my gosh, this is so exciting. So the initial plan was for me to take a Houdini course, but Houdini course filled up almost immediately. So I completely missed out on that. So I was like, okay, well, what course should I take instead? So I was considering Maya. I opted out of Maya. And I'll tell you why. Because my father is actually pretty involved in the 3D space as well. And he is a lot more proficient in Unreal Engine. So he was able to let me know that, like, okay, if you love Blender, you will love Unreal. They also go hand in hand. And Unreal goes hand in hand with Houdini. Not that Maya does not. I am not saying that. But he said if I'm already kind of in a learning curve of knowing Blender, that Maya or taking a Maya course or spending so much money on a Maya course might be a bit counterproductive, because I don't necessarily plan to use Maya. If I am going to do a 3D software, it's absolutely going to be Houdini or Blender. And Blender is my love. It is my baby. And it kind of speaks to what I'm going to talk about a little bit later, but why I started this channel, my intention for this channel, and my hope for this channel. So with Blender being my baby and me wanting to build on my skill set in this VFX world, having knowledge in Unreal Engine made a little bit more sense for me and my journey and what I have going on. Now, next semester, I will be taking a Houdini course or two. But right now, it felt like a good option, since I couldn't take Houdini, to take this Unreal Engine course just to brush up on it and get a feel for it. And I also am obsessed with landscapes and just the idea of depth. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. So it just felt like the right thing to do. So I enrolled in this virtual production course, and we are creating a scene, and I am learning so much. With that, though, it's challenging. It's definitely challenging, and it has been kind of tugging at everything in me as a creative. When I'm not able to grasp it fast enough, or when I don't feel like it's coming out good enough, I am absolutely having to baby myself and coddle myself and talk myself through it, because it can be disheartening. And trying to learn 3D software can be so very, very disheartening. And my hope, bringing it to, I guess, my next point, is my hope for this channel. Right now, I say that I am just kind of fumbling through modeling. I'm fumbling through Blender. I'm fumbling through learning right now. But these are the things that bring me such calm. I love learning this stuff. Like, although there is frustration, the love for it, the beauty in it, the ability to conquer things and to set a challenge for yourself and be able to overcome it is so overwhelmingly, like, awesome. To put it in simple terms, that I just love it. And my reason for creating this channel is because I've always just wanted to curate a space where I could dump all of my creative everything into a space, all the things that bring me calmness, that bring me zen, that bring me to center. I want to be able to express those things, find community, find peers that feel the same. And I don't know if I've mentioned it on this channel, but obviously, I mean, I live in Los Angeles. I'm taking courses in North Hollywood, but I live in Los Angeles, the land of just like all the creatives. So once I found out about this world, this VFX world, and what I could do, and was able to get a mentor in the space and create connections and have a path going somewhere, it just opened up this world of creativity that I didn't even know existed. I wish I had known about Blender or VFX, or that this was an option, way sooner. And I come from Connecticut, so I come from a really small town in Connecticut. So VFX was not necessarily on the list of majors, unfortunately. So, I learned about it a little bit later, but the fact that I have found it and it speaks to me the way that it does, I dream of creating a space where I can teach others in a way that I feel is great for me, my learning style. So being in this school and having different types of professor with different teaching styles has taught me that, like, okay, so I'm this type of a learner, and I would love for my professor to teach me in this way, or these are the things that I feel that they're missing. For instance, if you are following a tutorial and the person teaching the tutorial is kind of just clicking through and pressing buttons, and they aren't telling you, you know, what they're doing or why they're doing it or what that hotkey is, for me, that would be extremely helpful. So, as I'm in these classes and as I'm experiencing these professors in these professional spaces in the VFX world, it is helping me learn the type of a teacher that I want to be. I mention this all the time, but I think Ducky 3D is one of the dopest 3D artists in the teaching realm of Blender that's on YouTube. If you don't know him, please check him out. He's so awesome, and I've learned so much from him. And I love his teaching style, and I love how simple it is, and I love how straight to the point it is. And I love how technical it is, but also he says it in such digestible terms. I just think it's fabulous, fabulous. And my hope one day is to be able to speak to the beginner frustration that you have when you are learning a 3D software, to speak to the all the layers of starting out in this world, because I'm there right now, and I'm finding that the people that are teaching me have been in it for so long, so it almost feels that they have forgotten this part. They have forgotten that this is also a part of the journey, and this needs to be nurtured in a very specific way also. And it could be, the mom in me that wants to kind of coddle and nurture, or the Libra in me that's just like, oh no, like, I'll show you how to do it, like, gentle, just be gentle. So that is my hope for this channel. And I mean, bringing it to the modeling really quickly, I just modeled. I zoomed in, I pulled the vertices in, and just kind of got the shape a little bit closer to perfection as I could. I'm just playing around, and that's why I say these aren't tutorials. I don't think I'm quite there yet, but my hope is to get there. So I'm kind of fumbling through. So I hope if me fumbling through helps you in any way, then I'm getting there. I will get there, but I'm getting there. So right now I'm just taking the geometry that I've built, and I'm just going to extrude it down. We're going to tap into edit mode, and we'll work on just getting a little bit thicker so that they look like countertops. So like I mentioned, I'm going to have this be like a 3-part series. We'll go through it. I'm not quite done with the concept yet because I'm still in class. So we're slowly trucking along, but the fact that I am moving and grooving in Unreal is literally insane. And if you've tapped into Unreal, or if you've used it, I want to hear about it. I want to know if you agree that Blender and Unreal work hand in hand. And I don't know if I mentioned it at all in the video, but the intention was to take a Houdini course. Like I mentioned, I have a mentor that linked me up with someone who works at a studio out here that I am grinding to get into, and he is slowly pushing me and showing me what skill sets would be useful in this VFX world currently. And he did mention Houdini is a very high demand skill set to have, and if I am able to obtain said skill set, then I would be, in high demand, for his words. So that's the intention, to dabble a lot more into Houdini and enroll into a Houdini course or two next semester. So we will see what happens. But in the meantime, learning Unreal, which is, at the top of the industry also, you can create such phenomenal, gorgeous, beautiful, incredible works of art in that software. And I love that I can actually move through it, and I am creating something. And I'm also grateful for the fact that I am obsessed with Blender, and I love that I get to fall back into Blender when I need a comfort, when I need to just go into a software that I can kind of move freely, and I know I can click quick. I want to click quick, you know. Um, so with that, I'm learning, my year and a half of being in Blender, that I'm gonna get better, and I'm only gonna get better. And when I'm at this space where I am able to pass on what I've learned, I want to remember this part where I'm struggling, or I'm frustrated, and all of those things, because I know it's going to benefit someone else who's coming up and who is frustrated and who just wants to give up, but like something in them, there's like that nagging want to keep trying. That's when I'll come in, because I'm good with like the motivation and things like that. I mean, I used to teach kickboxing, but another piece of this channel that I am excited to introduce to you all, I am also enrolled in an art atelier where I am taking landscape painting classes. So essentially, you just go into this class and you paint for 3 hours. And the same way that I find such solace and peace and happiness in Blender, I find that same peace and flow and groundedness in painting. And I painted so much during the pandemic, and I've had a couple art shows, and I have sold a good amount of paintings. I will say I have sold prints and things like that, but sometimes, like with a yoga practice or a workout routine or anything, you fall off. You lose the connection to it or something, and I find that happens with me with painting, which is why I was so intentional with enrolling myself into these classes, because I'm nurturing the digital side of my art, but I am not necessarily pouring into the acrylic and oil painting part of my art. So I was like, I'm going to go back to this school that I had enrolled in during, or pre-pandemic actually. And I'm going to get back into it. And like I mentioned, I am obsessed with depth. And I think that is why I love working in 3D space. I love creating scenes that look like you can like walk into them. Or in Unreal Engine's case, you can actually walk into. The idea that I can create a world using my imagination is crazy. Zelda is one of my favorite games, and the idea that I can create some sort of a fantasy world is insane. So also my intention for this channel is to just pour into all of my creative sides, and my hope is to share that with you, and I hope it inspires you or motivates you, or I don't know, just brings you some piece of zen at any point of your day. That's my hope for this channel. So tapping into the actual editing, because we're modeling and chilling right now, and I got my lo-fi in the background, but I just beveled. I fumbled through the bevel. I added different amounts, different segments, and I'm playing with it. One thing that I find with bevel is it reacts very differently depending on the geometry. If you look, the right-hand side is a lot smoother than the left-hand side, and I believe that their settings are pretty similar. They're pretty similar. I don't know if that's something probably I could do a little bit more research into when it comes to beveling and all that jazz, but for the most part, we're just going to put a material over it anyway, and it's okay if it's not identical. That's the whole uniqueness of this piece. So nothing really changes much when I'm playing with the segments. So I think I do end up just kind of leaving it like that, because we're gonna put a material over it. But anyway, I'm done babbling. We got a few more parts, so I'll tap a little bit more into more stuff later. But I just wanted to check in and say hello to everyone. Hello to my subscribers. Hello to the new subscribers. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for believing in me, even just a little bit. And I'm so excited to keep doing this journey. I'm excited to show you everything I'm working on. I'm excited to grow as an artist on this channel. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye, everybody.